What's going on, guys? Andrew Piluk Hockey here, back again with another video. Today, we're talking about more Maple Leafs news as we inch closer and closer to that March 7th deadline, the trade deadline. And this news has a little bit to do with it, okay? So let's talk about it. Mitch Marner, John Tavares. If you guys are new here, make sure to like this video and subscribe. Join the squad. I'd love to have you guys here. Love talking Leafs, love talking hockey, so subscribe, like the video, make sure to comment all your thoughts on this video down below, and let's have some fun. Let's talk about it. There's a Toronto Star article that I wanted to kind of introduce to you guys. I'm sure you guys have read it, but also kind of pry some stuff from it. I've been thinking this way a little bit too, but it's about the salary cap, it's about Mitch Marner, it's about John Tavares, and the reason why all of these things kind of intertwine and why they make a lot of sense is because with the trade deadline coming, the Leafs are obviously, not going to be trading Mitch Marner and Johnny T unless some crazy style trade like happened with the Hurricanes and Avalanche comes around, which I don't think is going to happen with no trade clauses and stuff like that involved. But the Maple Leafs have to make some tough decisions, okay? And this could be an all-in year for the Maple Leafs only because there's jobs on the line, like somebody like Brendan Shanahan, and a lot of players who might not have a spot on the team next year due to them walking in free agency, or because, when this team keeps failing in the first round, stuff has to happen. And this feels like the first time in a long time where these things might just naturally happen without the team making the decision. And what I'm talking about is if Marner and Tavares decide they're just going to leave. And I think neither of them would want to, but if the money's not right and the Maple Leafs maybe don't offer those style of deals, I don't know if there's been contract talks, this could change everything. And I'm sure Brad Treliving has had these conversations and kind of been like, hey, like we're coming up to a point here where we kind of need to make some decisions, because what do I do at this deadline? Like, am I really going for it, or am I kind of holding back a little bit because we might not have the money for some of the players that I acquire next season, because we're going to be keeping Mitch Marner and Johnny T. Now, the reason why I want to talk about this is Kevin McGran talked about the NHL salary cap that is going to rise. And, the Leafs have more contracts to agree on next season, but when you come to your big two numbers, which is Marner and Tavares, who are free agents, this is where the ceiling is probably going to be, the cap for next season. And I thought it was going to be around 92, but I guess it's kind of increased to about $95 million. And going from 88 to 95 is really helpful for the Maple Leafs. And it kind of reminds me of a situation during the COVID period where the Leafs obviously anticipated the cap going up, and somebody like Zach Hyman had to walk because the Leafs didn't have money. And now we're in a situation where you've got two big names plus, Matthew Nyes and other players as well that are going to need some money. But this is good news. The Maple Leafs should always be happy about the cap going up because they have the money with the way that this team is run. That if the league allowed, a salary cap where there was like a luxury tax and teams could go over, but they have to pay more, the Maple Leafs would do it every single year. They could spend over $100 million easily every season. They're one of the richest teams in the league, like the Rangers, the Habs and teams like that always draw money. Okay, but $95.5 million is significant because what people don't understand is that, for a lot of players and a lot of teams and a lot of agents, okay, when the cap goes up, players want more money because they look at cap percentage. So even though Austin Matthews should be the highest paid player on this team, we all know the agent, okay? Mitch Marner's agent might be like, look, well, the cap went up, cap percentage is going up, my player needs more money than Austin Matthews, but even though, the percentage is still the same technically, okay? I don't want that to happen. I think Matthews should be the bar for this team of who gets paid the most. But again, that's not what's going to happen. This team has showed it time and time again that they will just pay their players out no matter what it is. Okay, this is the money, this is the contract, just go and take it. And what the talk kind of is in this article is that Tavares could also fetch a pretty big contract as well. Even though he's at that $11 million, he is going to come down. But for a lot of people, they thought, the Leafs will offer him $4 or $5 million, and maybe he'll lock it in. In this article, they're talking about Tavares being worth $8 million per season. And if we look at his production, which we might as well do right now, he's 34 years old, so he's not like super old. Like 34 is not super old for a hockey player, even though, $8 million is a lot to pay. But he's almost a point per game, and he's scoring a lot. And the thing with the negotiation power is that the Maple Leafs need scoring, okay? John Tavares scores a lot of goals, and he's done that the whole time he's played here. Look at these goal totals the last 3 seasons, 36, 29, 21 so far this year. Like, he's going to score 30 plus again this season. And what's been the biggest headache and what's been the biggest conversation that we've been having is that the Leafs need to score goals, and they're not scoring goals. We need to figure this out. We need to figure out how to score more goals. And if Tavares walks, the Maple Leafs are going to lose a lot of goals. And if Mitch Marner walks, which we're going to look at, you're going to lose a lot of points. 71 points in 53 games. He's got 16 goals, 55 points. Last year at 26. The year before he had 30. The year before he had 35. It's not out of the question to think he'll pop 30 goals in the net again this year, but he's going to be, close to that 100-point mark again, much like he was in 21 and 22. And then last year, if he played a full, 82 games, this guy would have been easily over 100 points. I mean, he only played just under 70 games. He played 69 games, which is nice. But look, the Maple Leafs need to make a big decision here, okay? What's going to happen at this deadline is going to intertwine with what happens with Marner and Tavares. They need to be very careful here. They can't go all in and acquire guys that are on short-term deals and give mammoth trade offers and whatever else, because those other players might walk. So do the Maple Leafs go out there and get guys with term and then try to figure out the money in the offseason and try to bring in Marner and Tavares again? Or do you just get rentals again? Do you just get rental players and hope that you're going to hold on to Tavares and Marner? They have to, honestly, they have to sign one of those two guys next offseason with this extra money. And at this point, Marner could price himself out, even though I would love to keep both of these guys. Tavares might be the more reasonable number, but not at not at $8 million. I think it's closer to 6.5. Especially if he gives the Leafs a little bit of a discount. But do remember, okay, Tavares gave the Leafs a discount at $11 million, and people are going to flame me for that in the comments. But go back and watch that whole saga. There were teams offering him $13 million a year, and he wanted to come home, so he took 11. Was it too much for the Maple Leafs? Probably. But nobody could have predicted COVID happening and the Leafs losing out on that extra money. The cap should be well over $100 million right now, but it's not because of COVID. So the Maple Leafs made a gamble. They got a great player. He's been great since he's come to Toronto, but they haven't gotten over the hump. And this offseason and this trade deadline, more importantly, they're going to be looking at these two players and trying to figure out where their head's at, and then make a move accordingly. So Brad Treliving's got a tough gig here. He's getting paid a lot of money, though, so figure it out, Brad. No more Boston pizza for you, because even though his dad, whatever. But no more Boston pizza unless you're going out there to negotiate contracts or trades and stuff like that. But we need to figure this out. What's going to happen? I need you guys to comment down below, and I hope you guys understand my message here. Because I want to get your opinion, and maybe I'll even make a follow-up video. There probably will be follow-ups, okay? This is still early. March 7th, NHL trade deadline. This is when you're going to start to hear things. This is when you're going to start to see what the Leafs are going to do. So let me know what you guys think. If you're new here, make sure to like this video and subscribe. Join the squad. I'd love to have you guys here. Let's talk Leafs. Comment. I'll see you in the next video. Peace.